There's a law in this county against shooting dogs. But when I see a mad dog, I don't wait for him to bite me. I swear you're beginning to make me mad.
All strangers do.
Well, I don't know. Some do when they come around snooping.
Looking for what?
I don't know. Outsiders coming in looking for something.
Looking for what?
I don't know. Somebody's always looking for something in this part of the West. To the historian, it's the Old West. To the book writer, it's the Wild West. To the businessman, it's the undeveloped West. They say we're all poor and backward, and I guess we are. We don't even have enough left. But to us, this place is our West, and I wish they'd leave us alone.
Leave you alone to do what?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Kris Kondrad Movie Review Show and my continuing series, The Greatest Movies You Never Heard Of. That was a scene from 1954's Bad Day at Black Rock, directed by John Sturges, and starring the three-time Academy Award winner Spencer Tracy and the great, underrated, or maybe not, he was pretty well liked, Robert Ryan. It's the story of McCready, played by Spencer Tracy, who is a World War II veteran, and in his platoon was a Japanese soldier by the last name of Komoko, who died in action. He was killed in action, and Spencer Tracy goes to the town of Black Rock to deliver his Medal of Honor ribbon posthumously to his father. When he arrives in the small town of Black Rock, his father is missing, and there's a mystery surrounding it, and it seems he may have met with foul play at the hands of the hillbilly, angry, racist citizens of Black Rock, led by Robert Ryan. And Robert Ryan was a great actor from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, 70s. Died a couple years ago, finally. He could live forever. I love the guy. But he was a great actor, and he often played villains. He sometimes would play a good guy, and he was great at playing a good guy, but I really loved it when he played a villain. He usually was soft-spoken and quiet, but he always had this rage and evilness just boiling under the surface, as he does in this scene. And it's an interesting film dealing with these small-town Americans who are just so racist that they can't comprehend a Japanese American being, on the side of America and fighting for America against the Japanese. And I can see this being the mindset of a lot of people back then. And you can almost understand it. And we still have that mindset today often, the way some people treat cab drivers and other Arabic Americans as if they're part of the Taliban. When a lot of them are just Americans as much as any of the rest of us, just striving to be and love America. So it's an interesting story that I think is still timely today. And John Sturges was a great director. He directed mostly Westerns. He's most famous for 1960's The Magnificent Seven, starring Yul Brynner and Steve McQueen from 1960. It's a great Western, one of the more entertaining Westerns of the 60s. It's not a masterpiece or one of the greatest Westerns in my opinion, but it's a highly enjoyable film. And of course it's a remake of Akira Kurosawa's 1954 masterpiece, Seven Samurai, which in my opinion is one of the greatest films ever, and it's one opinion I actually share with critics. It's probably the only time we ever agree. For a lot of critics call it one of the greatest films, and really a template for all action films and a lot of Westerns and samurai movies. It's just a great film. But John Sturges made a lot of Westerns, and to me his best Western wasn't Magnificent Seven, but actually Last Train from Gun Hill, starring Kirk Douglas and the great Anthony Quinn. Is a revenge tale about two friends torn apart by revenge. And it's a great film you should check out. But not until you check out first Bad Day at Black Rock. You also get Anne Francis as the female lead, although it's mostly a guy's movie. She's the only woman in the movie. She plays Robert Ryan's girlfriend, who's torn between being loyal to him and doing the right thing. It looks like a Western. It's shot like a Western. It has these beautiful sweeping vistas and distant horizons and the whole desert landscape of a lot of Westerns. But it really is a psychological thriller. And there's a lot of great scenes of intimidation, and Robert Ryan and Spencer Tracy playing cat and mouse, and also even Ernest Borgnine and Lee Marvin and them attempting to intimidate and run Spencer Tracy out of town and stop his investigation of what happened to this man that they may be responsible for. Let's take a look at this scene where the great Lee Marvin is intimidating Spencer Tracy in his hotel room.
If you had half a mind, boy, you would have paid attention to what Pete downstairs said. He said this room's here is for us cowboys, for our every wish and comfort.
And this one is yours, I guess.
When I'm in town. And I'm in town as any fool can see. You can see that, can't you, boy?
Yes, I guess so. Would you mind if I sort of got my things together and found another room?
Not at all.
They keep pushing, but you can only push a good man so far. And for a guy with one arm, Spencer Tracy's got a few tricks up his sleeve. Great little film. Check it out. Until next time, thanks for joining me on the Kris Kondrad Movie Review Show. Doodle-doo.